Boom! There it is, ladies and gents. We're ready to rock and roll, and we get to talk about one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. What is that? Oh, we're about to find out. Let's do this thing.
Shut up and sit down.
Is your business in need of customers? Then you found the right show. Hernan Cias is the business bro, and he makes getting customers fun and easy. Watch, listen, and learn as each episode is designed to sell. Welcome to another episode of
Business Bros. All right, ladies and gents, let's do this thing. Let's drop some heat. Now, what would your life look like if you had someone to hold you accountable to your health and well-being goals that you set for yourself? I mean, life is a series of choices, and sometimes we make choices that are taking us further away from the goals we set for ourselves. Before you know it, you got small habits that catch up to you, and you find yourself a little more tired than usual. You got a little extra pounds that you're not totally proud of, but that's okay, because right now is your opportunity to change that. It will take some work and some effort, but you can change for the better. And today's guest believes that everyone deserves to feel and look their best and wants to empower people and embrace their health and well-being. So let's welcome to the show, with over 10 years of experience in the fitness industry, certified CrossFit, Pilates, and masters in human behavior, from A Healthful Life, Lisa Peranzo. All right, Lisa, I told you it was nothing but fun and smiles. You got a big smile on your face. What do you think of the show 2 minutes in?
Best intro ever, hands down. I have been so lucky to be able to do so many podcasts. Your intro is the best.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. All right. Set the bar high. That's what we want. Set the bar high.
Yes, you set that bar high. I was like, man, he didn't actually just read the bio. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I can tell that he actually looked at it beforehand. That's rad. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it.
Of course. And okay, so for those of you who want to come on the show, it's a cheat sheet. Look, you have a website, you have an About Us page. I do sort of steal some stuff from it, but I kind of make it my own so I can talk about it in my own energy, my own light, right? I mean, that's how it works.
Yes. Well, and you know what I really appreciate? Like, you really highlighted my mission. And most people, and you know, my bio makes me sound fancy. Okay. I mean, it's all accurate. It just makes me sound fancy, but that mission statement matters more to me. Who I'm helping matters more to me. Who I did this for. Like, look, you don't become an entrepreneur because we're all like, we want financial freedom and flexibility in our schedule. Okay, boo. Sure.
Well, let's be honest. That's what we get into it for oftentimes. That's the dream, but we get bogged down. Okay, Lisa, look, you started off talking about your mission, right? And the very first question I love to ask entrepreneurs is the why question. And the reason for that is because, just like you're describing right now, we go into it thinking about our dreams and all this extra time. But when poop hits the fan, the why is what keeps you going when you don't want to, especially in health and fitness. You don't ever have that motivation. So
why are you doing this?
Because I want to know.
So why?
That's the best. Why am I doing it? Very simply because I truly do believe that health and fitness is accessible to every single person out there and is completely sustainable. It is a matter of figuring out what works the best for that person. And, you know, before I started A Healthful Life and I was sitting on all these years of experience and all the fancy certifications and all the paper on the wall, you know what I mean? It was like, what am I doing with all of this if I'm not giving back to my community and teaching them how to solve this problem of, how do I work out consistently when I have a 9-to-5 job? I have 3 kids. They have soccer and baseball and, you know, this and that, just life. How do I still take care of me?
It is so difficult to make the time, because that's the real answer, right? It's not really about finding the time. It's about making the time. You and I speak I love the health language, right? For me, part of the reason why I do it, mind you, when people talk to us, they think we're crazy. right? The amount of time that we spend working out, the amount of time we spend trying to stay physically fit. I drink like water. I don't even drink coffee. It's water all day long.
Yeah.
People look at my habits and the things that I do and think, yeah, that's cool for you. That's not necessarily for me, right? So, tell me, if you can explain it to somebody as like you would to a third grader.
What do you do?
How do you do that?
The biggest thing that I tell clients to do is, like you said, it's about, I would take it a step further on the time thing. And it's about actually keeping that commitment to yourself.
Yes.
Right? Because it's so easy to let everything else distract you from your day. But what I would tell the third grader is, what do you like to do? That's what you need to do. It's that simple. That's going to be the routine that you stick with. So what you said, which I freaking love, when you were like, yeah, well, that's good for you. Well, yeah, for sure. Fitness is not a cookie cutter thing, not in my personal belief. It's different for every single person, depending on your life, your situation, and what you like to do and what you don't like to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I tell you, let's go run a half marathon, and maybe you're not into running, and you're like, well, running gives me hives. That's not going to be something you stick with. But maybe, hypothetically, maybe you're my dude who likes to get down on some Zumba.
Yeah.
Okay. Do that. It is so less complicated than what we give it credit for, I think.
True.
So difficult.
But I want results, right? And here's always the thing for me. My wife and I are on opposite ends of the spectrum, right? I'm the crazy one. I wake up at 4:30 in the morning. Okay. I have a 6-mile run. I got my 200 chest exercises, whether it's push-ups or whatever it is. I do crunches, right? And that's my morning routine. And in that morning routine, the reason why I chose those 3 things to mainly focus on is because those are the 3 things that I hate. That's where I wanted the biggest change. I knew that if I wanted to get in good shape, I needed to push my body a little bit further past the uncomfort part, right? Because mainly because I wasn't going to give up doubles at In-N-Out, right? That's really the main reason. So I had to do something else. And I'm willing, that's true though, right?
I know. Why does In-N-Out always smell so good when I drive by? Like, oh yeah.
Well, I guess you could do the Flying Dutchman style, right?
No, I'm not. Look, if I'm going to eat it, I'm going full.
That's right. Me too. Okay, cool.
But here's the thing is that what you said, I don't even think that you realized it when you said it, when you said that you're essentially doing what challenges you. Mm-hmm. Because you know that that's how you're going to push your limits and get stronger. If someone's new to fitness, I wouldn't start with that.
No.
You obviously had a fitness routine established before you established your now morning routine.
Yes.
Like you knew the benefit of working out. You knew like, okay, if I get up, I move my body every day. It probably didn't start with the 6-mile run. Maybe it did start with the 6-mile run.
No, it didn't. No way.
Like it probably didn't start with the 6-mile run, but it started. So what you showed yourself is, okay, I can establish the habit, right? And then I can expand the habit.
Yes.
That's how you get results. It's not this like, oh my God, I'm going to wake up at 6 a.m. every single day for 30 days and do this hardcore workout that's going to leave me totally stressed and completely burned out and running late for work. What's going to happen at the end of those 30 days? You're going to quit.
Yep.
Like, I love you, but I said what I said. It's true. If you're like, okay, I'm going to start with something that is maintainable for my life, whatever that something is. And then you establish that habit. Consistency will get you results. And then once that habit is firmly established, then you start to tweak things. Oh, I don't like to do burpees. I should probably be doing those more. Oh, I don't like to do push-ups. I should probably be doing those, because you know that at the end of it, you're going to feel better.
Yes.
And you've proved to yourself that no little workout is going to completely own you.
Yes.
It's that your mindset has shifted.
Well, let's talk about that a second.
Not my worst day. Hmm?
The mindset is probably one of the biggest things that you got to get over, because the words that we use are always going to reflect our actions, right? If you say, I don't like running, right? Or I am not a runner, you're never going to be, right? I don't go to the gym. Well, you're never going to commit to going because you're literally telling yourself that you don't do those things. So your mind's just going to believe you and do what you tell it it's supposed to do, right? So how do we change that? What are the things that you're doing in your coaching program or holding people accountable? How do we get somebody to shift just that little bit to prepare themselves to do what they need to do?
Because you know what's interesting? It starts with that, right? And then it extends, or like once they get out of that mindset, they shift into wanting to work out to benefit the people around them. Oh, and it usually comes out like this. Oh, I have a wedding to go to. There's a baby shower that I need to fit into this, that, or whatever. That's how it comes out. All of that to me, and this is where the formal education comes into play, speaks on a deeper level to how you view yourself.
Yes.
And your self-worth. If you're sitting there and you're going, I'm never going to get to the gym. You're right. You never will, because you probably don't think you're good enough to be there in the first place. And low key, you're probably like, well, that person next to me can lift heavier than me, or they can run faster on the treadmill than me. And that's where you're getting caught up. And then when you eventually shift out of that, which is private coaching will do that for you, because you got to recognize it first. And then you get into I have a wedding in 6 months that I need to drop 30 pounds for, or whatever, totally from my butt. I don't know. That is benefiting other people. But how does this benefit you?
Yes.
It's the person figuring out, why am I going to show up time and time again for myself? Because no one else can do this work for you. No one else can show up for you. And your results are yours and yours alone. I tell my classes all the time, that victory at the end, like that finish line, no one can take that from you. You've earned that. But you have to get into the place where you feel like, I'm worthy to earn that.
Yes. That's the confidence that's inside you, right? You have low self-esteem. There's always going to be somebody faster, bigger, stronger than you in every aspect of life, not just in health and fitness, in every aspect of life. And to have that, Napoleon complex within you, like you can defeat that a little consistency at a time, one more step, one more rep, push just a little more. Yes. And that little bit is you defeating that complex, saying that you can do this. Yeah. So Lisa, you work with all kinds of different people. I mean, you've been in this space for 10 years, everything from CrossFit to Pilates. So who is?
I am looking for qualities beyond the physical.
Yeah. Who's your ideal client?
My ideal client truly is the busy adult who cannot figure out how to make working out be a consistent thing. Because when I created A Healthful Life, that was the problem I was answering for my community. I was training out of a brick and mortar. I still train out of that brick and mortar. In fact, I was there this morning. And that was what I was consistently hearing. I can't make this work for me because I don't have the time. Like that's how it was coming out. And it was like, oh, no. We all have the time. It's being creative with your time. It's looking at your time in a different way. Yeah, sure. Maybe you don't have 2 hours to work out. Unless you are in this space and training people, I know few people who are willing to wake up at 4 a.m. or 4:30 a.m. to have that time before the day starts. Right. But maybe it's, you have half an hour. Maybe it means asking your spouse, hey, can you do the heavy lifting with the kids on a Wednesday night so that I can go to this class that I really, truly enjoy every week and make that commitment to myself? Maybe it's working out during your lunch break. Back in the days when I had a 9-to-5, hand to heart, that was what I did.
Yep.
I would
remember
work
doing
out.
That too.
Yeah, right. You would eat lunch at your desk after lunch.
Yep. You got to make it happen.
You just have to make it happen.
I remember, I've always been relatively athletic, right? And then in times in life, I stopped and then I would get back on the horse and stop and get back on the horse. One of those times where I was kind of doing a little bit of workout here and there, and then COVID hit. And so when COVID hit, I decided, you know what, I'm going to take advantage of this and I'm going to get in really good shape. And this is where I started with the push-ups because I hated push-ups. And I set my alarm. I was like, look, I'm going to do 200 push-ups a day. Now, I can't do that right now, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my alarm every hour, and I have 1 hour to do 50 push-ups. If it takes me 10 minutes, I got it done. If it takes me the entire hour, I got it done. And then the next hour I do the other 50, and then the next hour I do the other 50. And slowly that 4-hour gap became, oh, I can do this in 2 hours. Oh, I can do this in 1 hour. Oh, I can do this in 30 minutes. And it just got increasingly better, but I committed to doing something. Making that commitment to myself was probably the most difficult thing, because it's really easy to like take a rain check for myself.
For sure, because don't you have 6,000 other things pulling at your time?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I mean, that's literally how it is that we as humans, you know, the humans who care about the people around us are going to make sure that the people around us are taken care of first before we worry about self. We're going to make sure, you know, spouse is good, your work is good, their work is good, your kids are handled, the dog is handled, everybody else is handled. And then if you have 15 minutes, that's what you do. But what I would also take what you were saying, even a step further than that, which again goes back to mindset, because it is really important, is you weren't looking, and again, I don't think you realized this when you said it. Look at this. You weren't looking at what you were doing as failure. Oh, it took me 4 hours. I suck. I think sometimes we can get into that workout, we push ourselves and it doesn't go as planned. It doesn't match what our ego is telling us the expectation should be. And then we feel really crappy and we feel really small, and then we don't show up tomorrow. Yeah. You didn't look at it as a means of failure. You looked at it as means of a launching pad.
Yep. It was the beginning.
It's the beginning. And that's another thing I work on a ton with clients. Even in a group setting, it doesn't mean you always have to go to the most advanced, hardest options. Sometimes foundational movements are much harder than these more complex exercises. I'm sorry, a push-up is hard. A push-up with correct form is a difficult thing to maintain over a long duration. You know, but if you're like, okay, well, I have 1 hour, I'm going to get 50 done. Maybe in the beginning, the first 50 took, I don't know, half an hour, 45 minutes. Probably the last 50 took you closer to the whole hour.
Yeah.
Right? But then time goes on and those durations start to get shorter. You're doing more push-ups from your toes, less from your knees. The form is still good. You're starting to also see the benefits of repetition over time when you take your shirt off at the end of the day, or you're getting in the shower or whatever. And those things start to play with your mindset. Okay, well, I'm not failing. I don't suck. I'm sore because I slept wrong. You're starting to look at it in a more objective standpoint. Yes. I pushed myself really hard yesterday. It's going to take me longer today. Like, all of that stuff comes into play, but it's a matter of taking it out of that like ego-driven mindset. I have to be here and do it this way.
Yes. There's always room for improvement. And the other side of anytime you're doing physical fitness stuff, for me, it's also clearing out the mind. Like when I go on my run now the run is an hour, right? It didn't used to be an hour, but now I get an hour to listen to an audiobook, an hour to listen to motivational speeches, an hour to think about my agenda and write out who I'm going to talk to. Like whatever it is that I'm doing, I have an hour where my mind is getting a ton of oxygen, where my body is physically doing its thing. My mind is just pumping as much as I can. It's building confidence. It's giving me clarity. It's giving me focus. There's more to just the physical muscle aspect of it, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. That's like moving meditation. For me, like that's how I view my workouts. So because my workouts are structured a little bit differently because I am planning for clients and classes and all that. So I approach those workouts in a different mindset, because when I'm approaching the exercises, I'm thinking about how is this going to translate into a class, how I'm going to cue this. I'm honed in like a different way, but I make a point every single day to do at least one workout that is mine and mine alone. where I can zone out if I need to. I can listen to the music. I can get the podcast on. I can get the audiobook on. And it is mine.
Yes.
And literally it is so like structured now that even my daughter who's 7 is like, I can't bother mommy. She's working out. Like she just knows, like if it's not an emergency, it can wait.
You don't bother me during my time. This is my time.
Well,
I'm doing what I want with it.
I'm taking it a step further, even more so now. And I'm leaving my phone in another room because the phone was kind of becoming a distraction. You know, even if it's on do not disturb, you have that habit of like you finish an interval or whatever, and it's like really hard and you're like dying, and you pick up the phone to go on.
There goes. Yeah, you're supposed to wait 30 seconds to move on to the next exercise. 3 minutes later, you're like, oh, damn it, I forgot. I'm supposed to move on.
TikTok. Yeah, and I literally was like, I can't do it anymore. So I leave it in a whole, like it's upstairs, I'm downstairs.
And that's perfect. That's perfect. Well, let's talk a little bit about your business, because I mean, we can talk about, you know, the benefits all day long. And I think people understand that, yes, I need to get healthy. But they may need some accountability partners. So if people do want to work with you, they don't really quite know the level at, what's your sales process like?
Thank you so much.
Look at all those people. They just ready to get working out. How do they, what's the story? How does that work?
So this is the way that it works, is it's 90 days of coaching. Because a month is not long enough. The 90 days of coaching are you meeting with me one-on-one privately once a week for 1 hour. And I call it a collaborative process. What I want to be to people is basically like the dispensable coach. My goal at the end of the 90 days is that you have every single tool that you need to say, okay, I know how to make working out be a realistic part of my life. And if something comes up, you have the tools that you need to change it. So it's very client dependent in terms of what their goals are. And I've had all different types of goals come through, but it's us working together week by week. We implement something. Does it work? Does it not work? Making changes, going from there for what works, what worked well, what didn't work well, what do we need to adapt, what do we need to change? And that goes for a nutritional approach as well. And then at the end of the 90 days, they have the option to either continue going month to month with me if they feel like it's still necessary and they want that accountability piece, because that's what it comes to, is me saying, did you meet your goals for the week? What did we do this week? What worked this week? What did not work this week? What else do you need? And then if they're like good to go, they have the option, if they hit a plateau or they become stagnant or things regress or what life happens, they have the option to come back for a one-time 90-minute intensive call. So within that coaching contract, what they're also getting access to are my Zoom virtual training classes that I teach 3 days a week, and all of the workouts. If they want workouts, I will program the workout for them depending on whatever their life looks like, however their gym access looks. If what they're wanting to do, I had a girl one time, she wanted to learn how to run. So we got her on a running program. I had a girl another time who she's like traveling around America in a camper, making workouts that accommodated that, depending on where she was literally in America. It's meeting people where they're at, because isn't that like we all have different life circumstances. I can't give you a cookie cutter program and expect that it will necessarily work. That's not the way that it goes. I need to know more. And that's where I think the private coaching comes into play, because then I can learn more about you. We can start diving into some of those mindset things and shifting stuff around. And the big thing for me is that the feedback I consistently get back, well, it's 2 parts, is you're a really hard instructor, which true, I own that. But I've never felt stronger.
Yes.
That's the biggest. Every single person, hand down, has said that they've walked away feeling stronger, that they walked away going, okay, I know I got 20 minutes of my day, I can get this workout done.
Well, being tough doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. That's a good thing. I mean, you want somebody to come and put your feet to the fire to make sure that you're doing what you set out to do. You literally are paying somebody to help you get in good health. It's not good if they're weak and they let you go. That's a good thing that you're doing. What about any promos type stuff that you got going on? Any kind of meetups or group things that people can kind of inquire about?
I'm giving away free money.
Maybe not free money.
Not free money, I'll tell you that. I'll say this. If someone in your audience is really interested in working with me, if what we're talking about sounds like it's something that's up their alley, and I very rarely ever do this, I will give them 20% off of the 90 days. How about that?
Oh, nice. Nice.
I've looked at you, like, you guys have been awesome to me, and I'm so honestly grateful every time I get to guest on someone's podcast. I truly do realize, like, not just for you guys, but for our listeners as well. Like, it takes a minute. So I'll give them that.
All right. Well, then
but they gotta mention that they listen. Don't just come at me with it.
yeah, you gotta mention the business bros. You can't just ask for the thing. Come on now. All right. Well, if people do want to get a hold of you,
Say hello to my little friend.
how do they do that?
I mean, my website's been scrolling on the bottom this whole time. That literally is the easiest place to go. So you can click that. It connects to all the social media. The application to apply for coaching is on there. Yes, I have an application. The reason for it being, don't be scared by it. It's to truly make sure that you and I are a good match to work together. I don't want to waste your time. I don't want you to waste my time. That's what we do. And then that handle is my Instagram handle. I think it's also my TikTok handle. I don't know. It's my Instagram handle for sure.
All right, make sure you say it, both of them. Say them and just in case people are listening to this audio only.
Awesome. Okay, so the website is www.ahealthfullife.org. That has links to all of the things, all my social media, my email, everything, application for coaching. If you're like, I'm not going to remember that, fair. Find me on Instagram at Lisa Peranzo. One word, easy breezy.
Oh, it's nice when you brand with your name. It makes it so much easier. People can really capture that no problem.
Oh,
all right. Yeah. Lisa, I mean, health is the most important thing for a lot of people. If you ever talk to anybody who is sick or has some sort of debilitating health issue, the only thing they want is to be healthy. That's the number one thing that's on their mind. A healthy individual has a ton of things on their mind. And especially going through a time like a pandemic, it really focuses to me all the more reasons why you need to keep yourself healthy over the long haul, right? I mean, these, other conditions, the diabetes, the cholesterol, the heart disease, those all can be maintained with something as little as, and I'm going to leave this to the professional, what amount should we be working out every day to maintain a healthy lifestyle?
Oh, man. I would say if I could get you to 4 to 5 days a week for at least 30 to 45 minutes, I would be happy. I would be happy with that. Consistently at that, though. I would be good with it. Because everything that you just mentioned can also be reversible in most cases.
That's so true. I don't think people quite understand that. Like, just because you have diabetes, just because you are overweight, doesn't mean you have to be that for the rest of your life. You can change.
Type 2 diabetes is something that can be reversible for most people. Obesity can be reversible. The high blood pressure, the high cholesterol, most of the time, I obviously realize it's not for every single person, but most of the time, and I have seen it happen. It can be reversible. You can get off the meds. You can get off the insulin. You can get off all that stuff. That's what I want to see.
Yes.
This pandemic taught me nothing. It taught me the power of being healthy.
Yes.
True.
So true. Lisa, thank you very much for coming on the show. Quick 30 minutes talking about health. Ladies and gents, I'm gonna throw her information right here on the screen one more time. At Lisa Peranzo is her social media feed, and ahealthfullife.org, ahealthfullife.org. You guys know, like, for me, health is one of the most important things in my life. It's part of my daily routine. At least 5 days a week, I am trying to make my body a little bit stronger, give it the nourishment and the physical activity that it needs. And it gives me the energy to move on. I mean, people are like, you get up at 4:30 in the morning? It was tough at first, but now with consistency and working out, I have more energy getting up that early than I did before when I'd sleep into like 7 o'clock. It's just how you treat your body. You treat it good, it will treat you good. Speaking of treating things good, Lisa, we love video testimonials on our show. It's how we grow. You've been on a number of podcasts. Now you've completed your episode of the Business Bros. What was your favorite part of your Business Bros experience?
I think this was an awesome conversation. I love your energy. I love how well thought out this program is. I like too that you did your research. You would be surprised. And you knew how to say my name. Oh, I won't say that because my name can be a little bit hard, but I like how you like structured this. It was awesome.
Thank you. I mean, that's what we do. We're in the content creation business, and my goal is simple. For those of you out there, we want to create content for our guests. So our guests come on the show, have a good time, talk about what it is that they do with a smile on their face, because nothing is worse than having a promo video that sounds like this. Right? So you want to have a smile on your face. You want to have the energy so you can promote your business. That's why people come on the Business Bros. And thank you, Lisa, for coming on the show. Hopefully I did you some good justice here on the show. And before we head out, is there anything that maybe I didn't ask or that you wanted to get out to the public? Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Okay. This is my always mantra for people who are like on that precipice of going. They're like unsure. Maybe you are new to fitness. Maybe you took time off. You're on a hiatus. This is my word of advice, my mantra, whatever you want to call it. Start now. Start now. Don't wait. There is never going to be a perfect time to get your health, your wealth, your fitness, all that stuff, whatever it is for you under control. Start right now.
Yes.
That's my word. That's my word.
Nike is one of my favorite brands for their slogan, just do it. Just do it.
Yes, just do it.
I promise you will feel so much better. Right? Okay. If you're not working out very often, the first 2 weeks, granted, are probably going to suck. But just do it. You'll get past the 2 weeks, and I promise you there's a whole beautiful life out there that you can enjoy without the pain in the knees and the back and the arms and the chest and all that other stuff. Work through it. You can do this. Lisa, thank you very much for being on the show. Ladies and gents, take care of yourselves. You got one life to live. It's short, and might as well take care of your body so that you can enjoy the life that you got. Ladies and gents, we'll see you mañana. Peace. And we're out.
Thanks for watching The Business Bros. If you're ready to get more clients and want to work with The Business Bro, visit our website, www.businessbros.biz, and click on the Need More Customers button, or learn how to generate more referrals with our video testimonial packages. Go to www.businessbros.biz and